Hello, my lovely wolf pack. Welcome back to another podcast. Today is an unsolved murder podcast. I tried to do this before, but my mic somehow malfunctioned, so I'm doing it now. Remember to like and subscribe, and follow me and everything, and all links in the description, as usual. So let's get to today's video. The first unsolved murder we're going to be talking about is one of the most sad and gruesome murders I can think of. The famous unsolved murder of the boy in the box. On February 23, 1957, a man was checking his muskrat traps in the woods off of road in Fox Chase, Philadelphia, when he came upon a baby in a box, the dead body. Knowing that the muskrat traps were illegal, the man decided against reporting the body. The boy was completely naked. His hands and feet were wrinkled, as if he had been submerged underwater before his death. Furthermore, his esophagus contained a dark substance, suggesting he might have vomited shortly before he died, the cause of which appeared to be several blows to the head. Surprisingly, even though the case attracted significant media attention, no one ever came forward to identify the boy. However, progress was made in 2002 when a psychiatrist contacted the authorities with information regarding the case. The psychiatrist claimed that the patient of hers, a woman named Mary, confided that her parents had bought an America's unknown child and used him as a toy. And according to Mary, her mother had been bathing the boy when he suddenly threw up. Angered, Mary's mother beat him to death. Mary claimed that she accompanied her mother to the northern Philadelphia woods, where they wrapped the boy in a blanket, placed him in a box, and left him there. Investigators were convinced Mary was telling the truth, even if she was mentally unstable. However, when Mary's name was leaked to the press, she left the country. No further efforts were made or have been made to investigate. Curious, the case of America's unknown child, the boy in the box. That was a really creepy story, and honestly, I don't even know who would do such a horrible thing, but it's just sickening to think about. Story number 2 is not about a child, but still very terrifying. The Black Dahlia murder. On January 15th, 1947, a dismembered body of a woman was discovered in a vacant lot in Lubbock Park, Los Angeles. And I'm really sorry if I didn't say that right. So surreal was the scene. The woman who was discovered the body, Betty Bersinger, initially thought it was a dismembered mannequin. The body was completely drained of blood and had seamlessly been washed, and the face had been slashed from mouth to ear. The upper and lower parts of her body were placed a foot away from each other and were posed. The hands were placed over the head, the elbows bent, and the legs spread. The intestines were tucked under her buttocks. Her ass, let's just say that. The authorities were called. The body was identified as Elizabeth Short, later known as the Black Dahlia, a 22-year-old woman, aspiring actress who had been dating a married salesman. 6 days after the gruesome discovery, on January 21st, the editor of the Los Angeles Examiner, James Richardson, received an anonymous call. The caller told Richardson to expect the severes. I don't know what this fucking word said. On January 24th, a curious envelope was discovered by the U.S. Postal Service worker. The envelope was addressed to the Los Angeles Examiner. The other Los Angeles papers. The letter contained Short's birth certificate, photos, and other personal belongings. On January 26, another letter came. It read, "Here it is, turning Wednesday, January 29th, 10 a.m. Had my fun at police, Black Dahlia Avenger." The note included the location where the killer would supposedly show up. The police waited patiently. To their dismay, the killer never showed. The same day, another note was sent. "Have changed my mind. You would not give me a square deal. Dahlia killing was justified." Over the years, the police have questioned countless suspects and self-confessed Black Dahlia killers. However, to this day, the Black Dahlia murder has not been found and remains one of the most baffling unsolved murder cases in history. Like I said, it's not about a child, but still creepy as hell. Our next story, the Icebox Murders. On June 23, 1965, Houston patrolmen paid a standard visit to the house of an elderly couple, Fred and Edwana Rogers. To their surprise, they found a house empty and were probably on their way when one of them decided to go check the fridge. Again, I don't know why he checked the fridge. I mean, why would you check the fridge? Did he want a beer? I don't understand how he got that feeling, but good to know he did. He opened up the refrigerator and seen nothing but meat stacked in it. My partner standing next to me made the comment, "Looks like somebody had butchered a hog." We didn't know it was a body until we got ready to close the refrigerator, and we could see the head lying down in the bottom of the vegetable bin. Police investigated and discovered that Fred, 81, and Edwanda, 72, had actually been killed a week before they were placed in the refrigerator. Edwanda had brutally beaten and then was shot, while Fred had his head crushed. His insides were later flushed down the toilet. The killer was never found, but the prime suspect was still the elderly couple's son Charles, who was 43 years old at the time. No one could ever find. He disappeared without a trace. However, recently, two Houston, Hugh and Martha Gardner, have declared that they have cracked the Icebox murder case wide open. According to the Gardners, Charles, who was a geologist was physically and emotionally abused by his parents. From a young age, his parents lived in a house that was owned by Charles, constantly took out loans in his name. Tired of being constantly abused, Charles supposedly killed him. It's believed that he then fled to Mexico, soon made his way down to South America, where he continued working as a geologist. This is going to be the last story of our podcast. Please remember to like and subscribe before we finish. The Mystery Room 1046. On January 2, 1935, a man checked into a room 1046 at the Hotel President in Kansas City. His name, according to the hotel register, was Roland T. Owen, and his home address was in Los Angeles. He had a cauliflower ear, brown hair, and horizontal scar on his left on his scalp. He had no luggage except for his hairbrush, comb, and toothpaste. That same day, Owen checked into the hotel a maid stopped by room 1046. According to her, Owen seemed frightened. His blinds were shut tight. His room, the only source of light, came from a small lamp. After the maid was done cleaning the room, Owen asked her to leave the door unlocked because he was expecting a friend later. When the maid returned with fresh towels, she saw the note on the dresser that said, "Dawn, I will be back in 15 minutes. Wait." And the next morning, the maid returned to room 1046. It was locked from the inside, so she assumed that Owen had gone out. However, to her surprise, Owen was in the room, meaning that someone else had stopped by previously and locked Owen in. Just like the previous night, Owen sitting in the dark. Then the phone rang. Owen answered and said, "No, Dawn, I don't want to eat. I'm not hungry. I just had breakfast." The same day, a motorist named Robert Lane picked up a man near the hotel president. The man apparently told Lane that he was going to kill someone tomorrow. Later on, Lane identified the stranger he had picked up as Owen. That night, the maid returned to the room 1046 with fresh towels. She turned away by a gruff-sounding man. The next morning, the hotel staff noticed that the telephone in room 1046 was off the hook. A bellboy was sent up to the room, where he discovered Owen lying in a puddle of blood. It was obvious that Owen had been tortured. When the police asked Owen who did this to him, he answered, "Nobody." His wounds, according to him, was a result of him falling against the bathtub. Mysteriously, his clothes were missing. When the police tried to confirm Owen's identity, they found out that Roland T. Owen did not exist. Owen, who had now become John Doe, died in the hospital and was sent to be buried in Potter's Field. However, an anonymous call came asking for a burial to be postponed until funds were proper. 13 flowers were sent for the funeral and were signed, "Love Forever, Lois." In 1936, a woman read about the case and thought Owen looked a little like her friend, missing son, Artemis Ogletree, and I really hope I said that right. Ogletree's mother confirmed that now that I say his name out loud, I'm definitely saying it wrong, sorry, but I'll try my best. Ogletree's mother confirmed that the man from room 1046, was indeed her son, but the case wasn't able to process any further. Police never found the mysterious Dawn, and they could never trace the mysterious woman named Louise, who was funded the funeral and sent flowers. Thank you for watching this video. If you ever want to see more of these podcasts, let me know. Remember to like and subscribe and check out all my other content and all links in the description below. And please have a nice day, and remember, anyone can be after you.